Hey guys, welcome to this video. In today's video we are going to see how to dockerize Python based web application. So let's get started. So here is our application which is performing very simple things. It has two web pages. One is home page which renders template called index.html and which is kept inside the directory called templates. Here is the HTML for this index.html, which will display a simple message to the user that says welcome to the home, and the other web page is greeting page which will display simple greetings to the user, which we provide through URL parameter. This name parameter will be provided through the URL, and it will also render the template called greet.html, which is also kept inside the same templates directory, which is almost similar kind of HTML, except this name parameter is taken from the URL and passed through this app.py. So here is our simple web application of Python. Also talking about the packages required to run this application are mentioned inside requirements.txt file, and they are Flask, Gunicorn and Workzug, which needs to be installed in order to run this application. So we need to install them from this requirement.txt file using pip install command. So we can go to the terminal and install these packages for this application. So let's jump to the terminal and install it using pip install. So the command is going to be pip install -- no cache directory. You can also omit this flag, and -r and the name of the file called requirement.txt. I have already performed this operation, so it will not display. It will rather display that these packages are already there. But if it is not installed for you, then it will install all these packages from this requirements.txt file. Now moving further, let's try to run this application directly using Gunicorn command. So let's first clear this terminal and run command Gunicorn, which is kind of web gateway for the Flask application. Flask is a web server for Python which we are using. So the command is going to be Gunicorn. Then we need to provide bind. We can also put it like -b followed by the URL of our localhost, which is 127.0.0.1, followed by the port we are going to use for this application. Let's say we will be using 8000 port to run this application, followed by the name of this application. So app is our application name, and run this command. So it will start the server on the localhost at port 8000. So we can visit this URL. Let's copy this link and place it inside the browser. So it will display the HTML which we specified from the index.html here. This page is referred. Also, let's check the other URL, which is greet followed by the name. So here it will be greet followed by name, let's say Virat. So it will display hello Virat. So this is a basic Python based web application. Now we will be converting the same application in Dockerfile. So let us go back to our editor in order to create Dockerfile. So here we'll be creating Dockerfile parallel to this application called app.py. Basically we can create this Dockerfile anywhere. So in the first step we will provide a base image. So the base image is going to be Python 3.10 slim, because our web application is based on Python, so it will require an environment of Python. So it will be Python 3.10 slim. Basically you can have any Docker image as a base image. You just need to be careful that it should have Python environment inside it. You can also use plain Ubuntu, but it will be too big image for running simple Python application. So here we are using Python 3.10 slim base image In the next step, we will be setting work directory in which our application can stay inside the Docker file. I mean, in the Docker image we will be building. So the command is going to be work dir followed by the name of directory. So this directory won't be present inside this base image, but work directory will create it if it is not present there, and it will automatically switch this directory as our work directory. So it will do both in our case. It will first create this app directory and it will also set this app directory as a default work directory. So in the next step, we will be copying our code, I mean the complete application, which includes app.py, requirements.txt along with this both template to this image. So the next command is going to be the copy dot, because everything we need to copy inside this app directory. So copy source as a dot and here the app. In the next step, we need to install all the packages that are listed in requirements.txt. So we need to run the same command in the Dockerfile as well. So the command is going to be pip install -no cache dir -r and followed by the name of file, which is requirements.txt. Now in the next step, we need to expose the port on which our application should run inside this container. So the port is going to be, let's say, 8000, not export, is expose, and the name of port, which is 8000. We can basically use any port of our container, but here for the sake of this application, let's use 8000. And the last step is going to be to run the Gunicorn command. So in order to run any command, we need to specify cmd followed by name of our command, which is Gunicorn. So as a first argument, we need to specify Gunicorn. Now we also need to specify few more parameters along with this command. So the next parameter is going to be --bind along with its value, which is, let's say, 27.0.0.1, and the name of this port, let's say 8000, the name of our app followed by, which is app:app. So here our Docker file is prepared to run this application. So now in the next step, we need to build the image out of this Docker file. So again, we need to jump back to the terminal and let's first cancel this application which we were running directly. So again, clear this console, and now let's build this app out of this Docker file. So command for building the application, or let's say Docker image, is going to be docker build -t followed by name of this application, let's say Python Flask, Python-Flask, followed by the path of our Docker file, which is in the current directory. So it is going to be dot. So our image is being built. It is installing the packages, and now our image has been built. So now let's run the container out of this Docker image. So the command to run the container is docker run -p for mapping the port, let's say 8000 port of our host machine, and 8000 is already exposed from this Docker image. So 8000:8000 followed by the name of image, which is Python Flask. So our application has started. So let us again visit this link. So here the application is not running on this 127 because it is the local host of our host machine, and we have specified inside the Docker file as a local host of this Docker machine. So here rather we need to specify 0.0.0.0:8000 in order to map the same with the host machine. So again, after this change, we need to rebuild this image and rerun the container out of newly built image. So again, let us go to the terminal, cancel this out, clear this. Again, let us build this image and rerun the same. Now it is running on this, so let's check whether it's working or not. Okay, so our application has been served from the container. Now let us also check the other endpoint. Let's say Rahul. So now we can see our application has been running through the container. We can also spin as many containers as we want from this particular image. Let's jump to the another terminal and run the same on different port using same command. So here let's say 9000. So it will also spin up another instance for this application again on 9000. So here we have another instance of a same application. We can run as many instances as we want from the same image in the form of container. So here we have seen how to run basic web-based Python application. So I hope you find this video informative. So we'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a nice time.